Edo Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu impeached. The federal government plans 3 national ID cards for 104 million Nigerians. Lagos court orders remand of Emefiele in EFCC custody. Away from Nigeria, Mozambique boat sinking death toll rises to 96. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us. And the details. Now, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has been impeached by the House of Assembly. The lawmakers removed Shaibu, who has been having a running battle with Governor Godwin Obaseki on Monday morning. Shaibu has refused to honor invitations extended to him by the 7-man panel, which investigated allegations against him. After his refusal, the panel led by Justice S.A. Omonua, retired, wrote its report and recommended his removal, saying Shaibu declined the opportunity for defense. Counsel to the former Deputy Governor, Professor Oladoyin Awoyale San, had withdrawn from participating in the proceedings after the panel ruled against his motion. Awoyale had urged the panel to comply with a federal high court Abuja that ordered the panel to show cause on why an interlocutory injunction to maintain status quo on the proceeding of the petition pending the determination of the case should not be granted to the plaintiff. Philip Shaibu says his impeachment as the Edo State Deputy Governor is a threat to the nation's democracy and believes it was a flagrant abuse of power by the Edo State House of Assembly.
My good people of Edo State, I thank you all for standing by me under these troubling circumstances as the Deputy Governor of Edo State. It is with heavy heart yet a resolute spirit that I come before you to address the recent events that have unfolded within our dear state. I denounce in strongest terms the illegal impeachment by the Edo State House of Assembly over trumped-up charges. This is not just an attack on me as an individual, but on the very democratic principle that we hold there. It is a dangerous descent into dictatorship and a threat to the foundation of our democracy. Let it be clear that this impeachment was hushed because of my ambition to contest the Edo State 2024 governorship election under the People's Democratic Party, PDP, an ambition that is a legal right to all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a sad reality that in our political landscape, ambition is met with resistance, and those in power seek to silence opposition through illegitimate means. I have dedicated my life to serving the good people of Edo State with integrity and honesty. I call upon all well-meaning citizens of Edo, and indeed all Nigerians who believe in the principle of democracy and justice, to stand with us in this moment of crisis. We cannot allow tyranny and oppression to take roots in our society. We must resist the forces that seek to undermine our freedom and trample upon our rights. To the members of Edo State House of Assembly who have chosen to forsake their oath of office and participate in this charade, I say this: history will judge harshly for your betrayal of the people who elected you to represent their interests.
Meanwhile, Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State has picked 37-year-old Omobayo Godswin as his deputy hours after the impeachment of Philip Shaibu. Omobayo's inauguration is also set to take place this Monday at the Edo State Government House in Benin City. Already, friends and well-wishers have gathered at the inauguration venue for the swearing-in ceremony. Born July 19th, 1986, Omobayo hails from Akoko, Edo local government area of the state. The 37-year-old has a BEng degree in electrical and electronics engineering and an MSc in public administration from the University of Benin. He is a registered member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. Before his new appointment, he served as a senior maintenance engineer at Dresser Wayne West African Limited, cutting his professional teeth in the operations in the South area, providing top-notch services and growing the business in the region. Now, earlier we had political editor Daily Trust, Clement Oloyede, and he gives us, shed more light on the matter. Take a listen.
The development in Edo is just a culmination of things that have happened since last year. It's been obvious since last year that the relationship between the deputy governor who has just been impeached, Philip Shaibu, and his governor has fallen apart. And the outcome of the primary election for the governorship ticket of the party also threw the feud into more open space for everybody to see. And last week, when the State Assembly, about 2 weeks ago, when the State Assembly asked the Chief Judge to set up a panel to investigate Shaibu for alleged misconduct and revealing state secrets, it was obvious that the process that has been kickstarted is going to be seen to fruition. Don't forget, when the crisis started with Obaseki earlier last year, before the Assembly could even start the process of impeachment, Shaibu went to court and stopped the process. But this time around, he went to court, and the court refused on 2 occasions to stop the Assembly from carrying out his impeachment proceeding. But the court said, okay, ask these people to come and give me reasons why I should not grant that injunction. So when the panel started sitting last week, the news around was that the counsel for Shaibu went to meet the panel and told the panel that, okay, there is this order of the court that you should come and show injunction. But the panel overruled him, and since then he stopped appearing. The panel, from records that we have, gave Shaibu about 2 or 3 opportunities to come and defend himself, and by Friday, when the former deputy governor did not show up, they made their decision and wrote their report, and that was what came to fruition at the House of Assembly this morning when they announced that the deputy governor has been impeached. This is not, it's only those that are not really familiar with how state governance is run that will be surprised with this. It's not the first time we'll be having this. From my record, we have at least about 10, this would make the 10th deputy governor that has been impeached so far. We have, if I can just run through some of the deputy governors that have been impeached, we have Ali Olanusi in Ondo State, we have Rauf Olaniyan in Oyo State, Jude Agbaso in Imo, Eze Madumere in Imo, Garba Gadi in Bauchi, Perebo Ebebi in Bayelsa, Aliu Guso just 2 years ago in Zamfara, Simon Achuba in Kogi, and Sunday Oyebuchi in Enugu. All these are deputy governors that have had issues with their principals, and at the end of the day, the State Assembly, as most people have been saying, played the role that the governors want them to play by instituting this impeachment process. So to answer your question straightforward, it does not come as a surprise, because everyone knew that the time has been ticking from the beginning when the crisis started, and the crisis was nothing more than Shaibu's ambition to succeed the governor and the governor's preference of another candidate for the position.
Which is really a sad situation. You would agree with me on that one. It's like the freedom of coming out to even exercise your rights is being taken away from you. All right, so this has happened before. I mean, you mentioned, you even listed some names in many instances, but what will be the repercussions, especially in a state where elections are just around the corner and Shaibu has truly shown his own interest?
Well, for Shaibu, this is not the end of the road, because like I said, this is not the first time impeachment is happening, and in about 6 out of these 9 that have, 5 or 6 out of these 9 that I've mentioned that have happened in the past, the court came out to nullify the impeachment process. But you know, as it is in Nigeria, once the impeachment is done, even if the court is going to nullify, it's going to take a while, and for Edo State now, the election is around the corner by September. This administration is going to round up before the end of the year. So even if Shaibu is to get court judgment, there's still a lot of process, High Court, Court of Appeal, and most likely, if they are not satisfied, they can appeal further. So this is a long process, it's a long legal battle that has been drawn out in Edo. But like, to answer your question, being an election year, it has just made the whole water to become more muddled up, because Shaibu is expected to take some actions now to show that he still has some supporters, he still has some loyalists, and some people are already suggesting that he might even team up with the opposition candidate, that is the APC candidate, and work against the PDP in the state. So it's still a long drum battle. The end has not been, is not even close to the end at the moment.
But do you think this would affect his political career?
Well, some analysts have already said it's even a good decision. It's a good development for Shaibu to be impeached. And the reasoning for how they reason along this line is that most likely it's better for you to leave the scene with a bang. You can come back maybe in 2027 or no 2028, when they will be having the next election. You can come back. You have, over the years, you will have gathered a lot of sympathy than for you to just take it calm and just let it slide. So for his own political ambition, he's still a young person. 4 years along the line, anything can still happen. He will still most likely use this to groom his support base. But if history is anything to go by, it's obvious that I think, apart from the case of I can't even remember any case often where an impeached deputy governor has come back to rule the state. So most likely it's almost likely like a death sentence in the political arena.
Indeed. Stakeholders of the Nigerian Labour Congress will today meet to take a decision on the leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party and the return of Julius Abure as the party's national chairman. Among other things, a caretaker committee is being proposed by the unionists to take over the control of the opposition party. The development comes in the wake of a failed attempt by the party's board of trustees to wrest power from Abure and take over LP leadership. A few days ago, a group of retired workers under the aegis of the Lagos Assembly of Labour Veterans and Trade Unionists protested and demanded an immediate resignation of the party chairman. The federal government is set to launch 3 new national identity cards in this year, May of this year, and has a target of providing them for about 104 million citizens across the country. The 3 new national identity cards planned by the National Identity Management Commission include a bank-enabled national ID card, a social intervention card, and an optional ECOWAS national biometric identity card. The technical advisor, media and communications to the Director General of NIMSI, Ayodele Babalola, said Nigerians would start getting the 3 national ID cards within 1 or 2 months of the launch. He, however, said the launch date was subject to the approval of the presidency. A Lagos State Special Offences Court sitting in Ikeja on Monday remanded a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission following his arraignment for alleged abuse of office. Justice Rahman Oshodi made the remand order after Emefiele and his co-defendants, Harry Omoile, pleaded not guilty to a 26-count charge bordering on abuse of office brought against them by the EFCC. Emefiele would have to remain behind bars until Thursday, when the judge will determine his bail application. The judge, however, remanded Omoile in the custody of the Nigerian Correctional Services. Before the court's ruling, Emefiele's lawyer, Abdul Hakim Ladi Lawal, had urged the court to admit his client to bail on self-recognition or on the most liberal terms. Inflationary pressures are straining irrigation systems and posing challenges for farmers who rely on them for agriculture. Now, the rising costs for equipment, maintenance, and water resources are impacting their ability to sustain farming practices. Many farmers are calling for the government's support and innovative solutions to address these challenges and maintain food security during times of economic strain. The situation is particularly concerning for the farmers in Kwadom, who fear that if not addressed, these challenges could exacerbate recent food insecurity issues. Hassan Koli has more.
The escalating cost of fertilizer is sending shockwaves through the irrigation sector. Farmers heavily rely on fertilizers to enhance crop yields, but with prices soaring, they are facing difficult choices. While some may cut back on fertilizer usage, risking lower yields and income, farmers like Suleiman may struggle to avoid it altogether. We are experiencing difficulties in irrigation this season, largely due to the high cost of agricultural inputs like fertilizer and seeds. The main issue here is that we could not afford the price because we are small-scale farmers. Maybe you can see here, the maize need fertilizer and watering, but we are just managing due to the high cost of it. Isa said the development forced many farmers to reduce their cultivated fields as many are waiting for the rainy season, warning of the negative impact of not having the required outputs. This is causing a great setback for food security. We left many fields as we cannot have inputs, so we are calling on the government to support us with grants. We will be happy to have even an agricultural loan. This will be better for us all and will ensure food security. According to locals, this will lead to reduced productivity in irrigated areas, impacting both local food production and livelihoods. This comes amid the warning by Nigeria's global partners that the country will expect to have more than 20 million people grapple with a high level of food insecurity this year. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, experts cautions against decline in mental health. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. Robotu Edo Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu impeached. And the federal government plans about 3 national ID cards for 104 million Nigerians. Moving on to more stories, Zakatul Fitr is a charitable donation of food that must be given before Eid prayer at the end of the month of Ramadan. Muslims who have the means are expected to fulfill this act in accordance with Islamic rites. Hassan Koli has more on this.
Zakatul Fitr is mandatory for every Muslim who fits the criteria. This charitable donation is given at the conclusion of the holy month of Ramadan. Zakatul Fitr involves providing basic food to those in need, marking the culmination of Ramadan's spiritual observance with tangible act of kindness and generosity. This was from the directive of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, second year after he migrated from Mecca to Medina. One adult Muslim will give out 1 sa'i, and it was given from the common local food of the people. It became permissible 2 days or 1 before Eid al-Fitr, and become mandatory on Salah Day. That is what the majority of Islamic scholars propagated. According to Islamic scholars, any Muslim who possesses food surplus to their need must pay the Zakatul Fitr, unlike the zakat, which is obligatory only on certain individuals. Zakatul Fitr is a duty for everyone in the household, and thus the head of the household, parent or guardians, can pay on behalf of other family members. Scholars also specify the categories of people eligible to receive such charity.
Nau'ukan mutane da ake bayarwa kamar yadda muka faɗa shi sune waɗanda Allah ya faɗa cikin Alƙur'ani a cikin suratul Tauba.
Allah has mentioned categories of people qualified to collect this kind of charity. There are categories of people that were mentioned in Surah Tauba for zakat, and from them, ulamas selected the first two, needy and poor people, as the best qualified category to collect the cattle fitr. Everyone that has nothing to feed his family falls into this category. At a time like this, when most Nigerians are unable to cater for their everyday needs, mandatory alms giving serves as a succor to flight of millions who will be beneficiaries of the humanitarian gesture. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Amidst Nigeria's economic challenges occasioned by fuel subsidy removal and economic instability, a medical expert has emphasized the importance of regular brain checkups to detect and address conditions such as depression, dementia, and memory loss. The report.
The year 2020 ushered in a global health crisis with spread of the deadly COVID-19 disease. Wreaking havoc on economics worldwide, Nigeria was not spared from its effects. Despite efforts by both administrations of former President Muhammadu Buhari and current leader Bola Ahmed Tinubu, many Nigerians continue to struggle with the adverse impacts of a faltering economy. Among the grievances aired by citizens is the persistent challenge of expensive and unreliable power supply, exacerbating the economic strain faced by individuals and businesses alike.
As at now, the situation is not even favorable. As many people that are passing by now, you may see many people going down now. Some people, it's by the grace of God that they are working.
It seems the government is unaware of the hardship Nigerians are facing. It has become very difficult for most households to afford 3 square meals a day.
So I think the government should have a kind of proactive measures to be able to arrest the situation. And also, those that are trying to sabotage the effort of the government should be called to order. There are those that don't allow the farmers to go to the market. Once they are apprehended, they should be brought to book. That is it.
Amid escalating challenges such as inflation and unemployment, which have led to many Nigerians struggling to afford 3 square meals, Dr. Temitope Farombi, Chief Executive Officer of All Health and Consultant Neurologist at the University College Hospital, UCH, has urged Nigerians to prioritize regular brain checkups to guard against depression stemming from the country's economic hardship.
The situation in Nigeria is common to all, so just focus on your own little bit and don't carry the problem of the whole nation on your head or on your shoulder. So at least you can sleep at night, because you need your sleep to improve your memory and your cognition and also your mood in the morning. So you can sleep well at least 6 to 8 hours in the night, and that will prevent you from having a headache. And also, it's important for you to check your blood pressure, to check your blood sugar, to check your cholesterol, because I don't want people to come to me with stroke.
The Nigerian government is urged to implement mechanized relief policies and subsidies within the health sector to enhance socio-economic development.
The federal government has announced that testing has commenced on the 700 megawatts Zungeru hydroelectric power plant ahead of the evaluation of electricity from the facility to the national grid. The federal government also stated that the $1.3 billion project located in Niger State had been connected to the national grid, in contrast to claims in some quarters that the plant was not connected to the grid. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, disclosed this while providing answers to industry questions contained in a document released in Abuja on Sunday by his Special Advisor, Strategic Communication and Media Relations, Bolaji Tunji. The Zungeru hydroelectric power plant is a major infrastructure project with the capacity to generate 700 megawatts, making it the second largest hydroelectric plant in Nigeria behind the Kayenji Dam. Away from Nigeria, the death toll from the sinking of a makeshift ferry boat off the north coast of Mozambique has risen to 96. Local authorities said the converted fishing boat carrying about 130 people ran into trouble on Sunday as it was trying to reach an island of Nampula province. Authorities said the boat was believed to have sunk as it was overcrowded and unsuited to carrying passengers. According to Nampula's Secretary of State, Jaime Neto, most of those on board were trying to escape the mainland because of a panic caused by disinformation about cholera. Rescuers have found 11 survivors and search operations are continuing. Kenya and Central African Republic are set to strengthen economic ties following a 24-hour visit of President William Ruto to Bangui over the weekend. The Kenyan leader held talks in Bangui with President Faustin Archange Touadera. It was the first time a Kenya head of state had visited the country. Accompanied by his wife, President Ruto praised efforts by President Touadera to bring about a gradual return to peace in the country that has been plagued by conflict since 2013. President Ruto said and also paid tribute to the resilience of the people of the Central African Republic and said he hoped that this was the start of a genuine rapprochement building cooperation that benefited both countries. Kenya is also expected to make a major contribution to the core in terms of energy transition. In sports, the Nigerian Premier Football League witnessed a goal fest of March Day 29 with 4 home wins and 2 draws, producing a total of 21 goals across various centers in the country. Unlike the last March Day, no away team secured a victory this term. Enugu Rangers' impressive unbeaten run came to a dramatic end in Katsina. The Flying Antelopes fell 4-3 in a 7-goal thriller, the highest scoring match of the weekend. This marked the first time since 2017 that Rangers conceded 4 goals, with Abia Warriors being the last team to achieve this feat. Niger Tornadoes jumped to 9th place with a resounding 5-0 victory over fellow northern team Gombe United. Lobby Stars edged out Eyimba by a lone goal, while Heartland continued their resurgence with a 3-1 win over Sporting Lagos. The matches between Kwara United and Bendel Insurance in Ilorin and Sunshine Stars against Bayelsa United ended on disappointing notes for the home teams as they settled for 1-1 draw. And with that, we have come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.